Time for my king rant. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Zach with Zacks Books, and today I have got the first of a very long series I'm going to be doing where I am rereading every Stephen King book again. I've already read all of them. I'm hoping to have a rank video out eventually. It's going to be very time consuming and very tedious because I'm ranking, was it 72, 73, and honestly by the time I get the video done, You Like It Darker, which is the one that comes out I think in May, which is another collection, is probably going to be out, so I'm going to have to read that one too. So it might not be until possibly the end of May for the whole entire big ranking video to come out, but it is in the works and in the process. Just bear with me on that. But what this series is going to be is a reread where I pick a King book and I reread it, and I kind of do like my rant video like I did with the Holly book. If you have not seen that video, check it out up here. I might redo that one in another rant video just because it's going to be a different time frame of when I've read it. I'm not sure. I probably will because I want to reread all of them. Some of these I already have reread in the past. If I doing this video for it, will be like the third time I've read it, so on and so forth. Some of them I've already reread, some of them I have not. But the whole point is I reread it and I rant about the book. It might not be a rant, it might be only compliments, or it could be me bashing the book. Don't know. But yeah, this is going to be a fun series. I'm excited to do this. And down below we have all the stuff. Danielle's channel, the Bookstagrams. Also down below is the Patreon, which we just started. Go down there and support us. It's going to be very fun and exciting. Just started it. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into the first rant book. Alright, so just like I did with Holly and I did with The Only One Left, I have it spoiler free at the beginning. And then I will let you know when spoilers commence, and then I will talk spoilers pretty much. So basically like how the book ends and stuff like that. So the book I am doing, as you probably saw in the title, is Roadwork by Richard Bachman, Stephen King. So this book, first time around I gave it 4 stars. And this time around, I'm going to stick to that rating. I'm going to keep it at 4 stars. I know a lot of you would prefer me give my rating at the beginning, so there you go. This book is basically about a gentleman named Barton Dawes, people call him Bart, who works as somebody at a laundromat that is going out of business because of a giant road extension. I think it's extension 784. And basically what it is a super mega highway that's going to be going through this town that he lives in. And it's going to be taking a lot of housing away. The guy's work is going away. And he's really high up in the company. And his job at the moment with his job is basically to find a new plot of land to move the company and, you know, this and that. And he's married. There's like issues with his wife in terms of they had a kid. Well, there's 2 kids that they attempted to have. I don't remember what the wife's name is. I don't know. I just didn't really pay attention to her that much the first time around, and this time around I kind of did, but there's a lot of characters in this book because, again, it's not as thick as The Stand, but we're dealing with a whole town and a whole bunch of other people, and I just really didn't pay attention to what her name was. So basically, in the past, they had conceived a child. It died, it had died previously. Then they gave birth to another child, and his name was Charlie. That name I remember, but I can't remember the wife's name. Whatever, don't fight me. And basically, what ended up happening is the child died at some point, and so Bart is kind of like, I don't know, he's not bitter about it, but he's just kind of it's upsetting. He's not happy about it, neither is his wife. And so what ends up happening, the main point of this book is this guy doesn't want to leave. He doesn't want to leave his house. He doesn't want to leave his company, but he doesn't have a choice. And so what he ends up doing towards the beginning is he buys a bunch of guns, and then he takes out buys a car. There's all this weird sketchy stuff. He takes out his life insurance, or he does something like that, and it's, there's what ends up happening mainly is the whole point that he doesn't want to leave. He doesn't want to leave his town. He doesn't want to leave his home. He grew up there. He doesn't want he doesn't want the change to happen. And so that's when things kind of start going bad for him. And so that is where the spoiler-free part is going to be. Again, I thoroughly enjoyed this book around. I personally think this is my third favorite Bachman book, and when I do the other two, when I eventually do the other two, I don't know how I'm going to do this in terms of like, am I going to read them in an order or not? I probably won't, but I know I want to try and do the Bachmans kind of more grouped together, so that way they're all just done with and done. But Thinner and The Long Walk are the only other two Bachman books I like more than this one. The other ones, I don't know, I just don't get well with them. The Running Man would probably be the only other one in contention with this one for third place. But I feel like a lot of people don't like this book just because it doesn't feel like a real King book. And to be totally honest, I feel like that's how most of the Bachmans are. Is don't really feel like it's Stephen King, because Stephen King is more known for his supernatural stuff, like his weird, way out there kind of crap. And this is just a story of a guy who just kind of loses his crap. He loses his mind. He's got two voices in his head, too, that kind of like talk to each other. I don't remember what their names are. I think one of them is George, I think. This dude just doesn't want this road to exist, and that's the main point of this story, is he doesn't want it to exist. He wants to try and figure out a way to make it work to where the road just doesn't happen. And I'll leave it at that for the spoiler-free part. If you don't want to continue listening because you don't want no spoilers about the book, then this is the part where I will tell you spoilers are going to start happening. Okay, so the spoiler parts with this book. This dude is... Spoiler part and rant, I will say. Okay, so my biggest issue with this dude is I understand the whole, like, you don't want things to change and you want things to stay how they are, you don't want to leave, but, like, the guy's, like, delusional as all hell. Like, he basically signs his resignation with his job because he doesn't want to move, he doesn't want to leave. He's the guy who's in charge of making the call to set up the thing for moving the company. He blows it off and he doesn't do it. So everyone at work is like, why the hell didn't you do this? He's like, well, F you guys, I don't want to fucking leave, so too bad, wah wah. And then his wife, he's like, I don't want to leave. This is like where I want to live, like where I want to be. And she's like, have you talked to this person about this home that you were looking at? Yeah, it's infested with termites. I might get so-and-so up here to take a look at it. Oh, okay, what was the people you talked to? And he like comes up with fake names that like are realtors, and just to avoid the inevitable that he has to leave. He has to move because the road is coming no matter what. So one night, well, I don't want to say he befriends this guy, but the guy who he goes to get the cars from, I believe he ended up not even getting cars. It was like a ruse to like talk to this guy who can get stuff. And he tries getting like explosives from the guy so he can blow up the road, and he doesn't want to deal with it. And then the guy there is like, you're effing nuts, like you're not going to be able to do that. The explosives you would need would be way more than what you could afford. And the last time I gave somebody explosives, they like blew up a bank or something like that. So it's not, and his biggest issue is he thinks that Barton is going to rat out on him, and he doesn't want to do it. So he backs out. Eventually Barton just like makes his own kind of bombs, and he blows up like the equipment that the workers are using. And they say in the news reports like, oh yeah, they always have reserves on these, so it's not a big deal. It'll probably take them like another month or so, just adds to whatever. And he's like, well shit, now I have only another month over here. So eventually he befriends this one chick he picks up on the road. She went by one name, and it was believed to like not be her name, and so, whatever. And like the whole point is like I don't think she's like homeless, but like she like left home and just picked her up on the side of the road, takes her home, kind of gives her a nice good meal, and she's like, what, do you want to like screw now or something like that because you gave me food, or what do you want me to do for you? And he's like, I don't want anything. I have $200 I want you to take with you. She refuses to take it. She's like, okay, well, I don't want to just screw you now because you're giving me money, you gave me a place to sleep and this and that. And he's like, I just don't want that. Well, eventually overnight he does it anyway, so whatever. She leaves, she wishes him good luck, and It's hilarious because I think she's like the last perspective we get at the very end, because it's like an epilogue. And what was her name? Mary? No, not Mary Dawes. Well, I can't remember what her name was, but she is like towards the end. She's like working at some place, and she sees like a news report, and she's like, "Oh my God, he actually did it," because he had talked about not wanting the road to exist. So basically, we get to the end, and he's held up in his house. He's trying to make a last stand because, like, at this point, they're like, "Look, you need to move. Like, we're done playing this game. You need to get out of here." So he basically sets up bombs around his house, like booby trap bombs, and starts shooting at the police officers who are outside trying to get him out. And he's got the 2 guns he got. One of them, I think, was a revolver, and one was like a big gun. And so it's how he describes it. Like, I got the big guns or something like that. And so he just starts trying to kill everybody who's attacking the house, or like trying to get him out of the house. Eventually they get into the house, and he pretty much was like, he asks a reporter to come into the house. And eventually what he does is he blows up the house and himself. So he basically, the wife, her name was Mary, I saw it at the end. She leaves to go with the in-laws. The in-laws don't like him. And so she's not in the house. She's gone out of the picture. They talk about divorce. She wants to try and get him to see a psychiatrist. He doesn't want to. And he basically just ends up killing himself in the end to make a stand to, I don't want this road to come through the house. I don't want this to happen. I don't want things to change. I want things to stay how they are. So he ends up blowing himself up. If there's some hidden meaning behind all of that, because I know King usually writes some like innuendo stuff like in there that's like hidden details, like I might be missing it, but I personally just think it's just some dude who doesn't want to leave his home, and this is his final stand. He tries proving a point, like, you can't make me leave, and I'm going to die here. And so he does. He blows up the house. So in reality, I feel like that actually kind of helped. I feel like that kind of helped the construction people because, well, the house is now torn down. I feel like he really didn't do himself any favors by blowing himself up, because he kind of killed himself, brought the house down with him, and, well, now the house is just out of their way anyway. So I think he might have killed 1 or 2 cops on his way out and the people who were in the house with him, but I don't know. It just kind of seemed... It was weird. I feel like that's kind of the reason why people don't really enjoy this book, because it's just kind of like okay, cool, but what did you really accomplish? And ultimately, I really just like the whole story and the build-up of getting to that part of the book. Towards the end, it's like, okay, this guy really just doesn't want to leave. He wants to fight and, like, this and that, this and that. And I feel like a lot of people just kind of ignore this one, or they just really don't like it. I personally think it's middle of the road for me. Like I said, I have that ranking video I'm planning to do. I don't know where I would see this one sitting, but it's an enjoyable story. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't like it, and I don't know. If you've read this book, if you've liked it, let me know why. If you haven't liked it, let me know why. And just give me your thoughts and opinions. For other people's sake, try and keep it spoiler-free. But obviously, I've spoiled stuff in this book. Hopefully, if you did not want to watch those spoilers, you've skipped ahead to this point, basically. But yeah, it was an enjoyable story. I really liked it, and I don't know. The only thing I just didn't jive with was, like I said, the ending. I just didn't get his point. That was pretty much it. So that's my rant on Roadwork by Richard Bachman, aka Stephen King. Thank you guys for watching. And again, we'll have the book link down below if you want to check it out yourselves. Also down below is going to be Danielle's channel. And again, the Patreon is down there. Like I said, we just started it. Really help, and we'd appreciate the support. We also have a Patreon video that is up, kind of explaining our tiers and everything, which we'll link that up here if you want to check that out. Otherwise, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and like I said, let me know your thoughts on this book if you've read it. If you hate it, let me know why. If you like it, let me know why. If you differ from me, let me know why. It's an open chat. So, otherwise, like I said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Later.